I went from a 9 to 5 job that I hated to running my own 7-figure business in 1 year. And I did that by selling products like these. These are high ticket e-commerce products sold in an e-commerce store from reputable brands. And this business model was my ticket out of a 9 to 5 job that I hated. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do the exact same. In every niche, there are loads of brands that are brilliant at product design, manufacturing, and importing them into the US or whatever country you're running your business in, but they rely on retailers to then sell those to the end customer. So if we take a look at this example here, you can see Bacow, Bike On It, Himaway, they're relying on this store, eBike Generation, to be one of their network of retailers who sell their products to the end customer. The same if we look here. Overland Junction, I actually know the owner of this business personally, and you can see here Roof Nest, iCamper, Tough Stuff, etc. Again, they're all about designing the best possible rooftop tents for the market and importing them into the US, but then this site is one of a few that are selling them to the end customer. And that's the exact role my previous business performed. We partnered with these brands, we brought them sales, and in turn, we were paid a trade margin, and we scaled that process to 7 figures in revenue, allowing me to leave my 9 to 5 job before I sold the business for $700,000 US. So let me show you how I did that. This price you see here for this product, 5259, that's the retail price. That's what it would cost a customer to buy this product. But it is not what eBike Generation will buy it from Baku at. Baku will import this product and design it and manufacture it for a far lower price than the retail. A good estimate is probably $1,000 to $2,000 US. They will then sell it to eBike Generation at a price lower than the retail price, so there's margin for the retailer and profit for the brand. So a quick live example, the customer comes to eBike Generation, the e-commerce store, they buy a product for $5,999, they then ask Bacow to ship that product out to the customer on their behalf. Bacow invoices them for the cost of the product, and usually that's about 30% lower than the retail price. So let's say Bacow invoiced them $4,199, they use the money taken from the sale to pay for that, and they've got $1,600 in gross profit left over as an e-commerce store to acquire a customer, serve them, pay their team, and make profit as a business. So let's lay out exactly how you acquire customers and convert them into buyers as an e-commerce store, because that's the value that you bring to the brands, and that's how your business makes net profit. The first thing is you need to be discoverable and get those customers onto your website. So I've put a search term in here, Best E-Bike USA. This is one of hundreds, if not thousands, of search terms that you would want to show up through Google advertising for when running an e-commerce store selling e-bikes. You can see here that multiple brands are showing up in the Google shopping portion of this, and you would need to set up Google shopping ads in a very specific way to make sure that you are attracting as many of the relevant customers as possible and getting them onto your website at the best cost per acquisition possible. You would also want to run text ads. You can see here that in the organic section, there are also some text ads that are in the sponsored section. You've got this page here, Top E-Bikes of 2025, that electricbikes.com are pushing a text ad to get traffic onto their page for this search term, and the same here with Ride One Up. So this is another campaign type that you would run to get customers onto your website from specific search terms so that you can then convert them into buyers. If you want a complete walkthrough in how to set up best-in-class search and shopping Google Ads campaigns for high-ticket e-commerce, just hit subscribe. I'm going to be releasing deep dive videos on both those topics in the coming weeks. Okay, so we're going to get some visitors and potential buyers onto our site through advertising, but we also want some organic traffic. That's when Google ranks you in the search results purely because the content in your page is best optimized for a search term that users put in. And a great place to find search terms that we can create content for is a tool like Answer the Public. You can see here we've got all the different questions that people ask when they're considering buying and browsing to buy an e-bike. And what we can do is we can create content for these to get organic traffic from Google. If I take this first one here, Are Electric Bikes Street Legal, and I have a look over here at the organic results for that, you can see in position 1, Google is ranking this one from E-Mountain Bike Kings, and they've created this piece of content on Are e-bikes street legal and the laws by state. Now this is a great piece of content for them to get potential buyers of e-bikes onto their site and then convert them, and you can see here they are also selling Bacow e-bikes. And then what we do is we scale this strategy. So you can see here, if we go to our example, eBike Generation, they've got a blog here full of pieces of content that are created with search terms that they'll have found somewhere, like Answer the Public, and then created the content for. So if we jump here, you can see what exactly is a fat tire e-bike and is it right for me? how to catch more fish on an e-bike, what are the best ones for commuters, etc. These are all ways of them to get buyers onto their site with the potential to convert them into sales. If you want the playbook on how to leverage AI to create quality blog content at scale that hits these keywords and gets traffic onto your site, then I've linked that video in the description below. Okay, so we know the strategy to attract potential buyers onto our site. Now we need a store for them to be able to browse and buy from, and that gives them confidence. And this is where Shopify is fantastic. I happen to know that this site, Overland Junction, is built on the Superstore theme of Shopify, and the vast majority of high-ticket e-commerce stores are as well, because the platform is so well suited for quickly putting together, with next to no experience at all, a really high-quality e-commerce site. And it's also perfect for managing the back end that comes with selling products. My favorite happens to be Superstore theme from Out of the Sandbox, but I think that you can't go far wrong if you use a well-known Shopify development platform. For a couple of $100, you can buy a theme that's going to allow you to drag and drop components and build a really professional looking store with absolutely no experience. And that's how we're going to create landing pages and a store experience that people feel confident buying from. So here you've literally got the playbook on a proven business model that you can start for less than $1,000 US, work on alongside your 9-to-5 job, and then go full-time when it's replaced your income and escape that 9-to-5. If we look at what that might look like in numbers, if you secured 10 brand partnerships with brands that are needing retailers in a niche that you've chosen, and by the way, if you need help choosing a niche, I've linked a video below on exactly that. You then get 15k monthly visitors to that site using the mechanisms we've talked about through advertising and creating organic content. And then you convert those at 0.3%. Now you've got a 45 sale a month business. If you have an average order value of around 2,000, which is probably a bit on the low side, you've now got a 90k a month business that in general you'll have about 15% net profit on. So you're now getting 13.5k in terms of earnings you can take out the business in order to replace your 9-to-5 income. And that's precisely what I built to get free of the 9-to-5 that I hated and work full time on my 7-figure e-commerce store. If you want deep dive walkthrough videos of exact strategies on how I built this, I release those every week. Just hit subscribe. And if you want to talk about getting started on this journey yourself and how that might look, there's a link below that gives you access to my diary. We can have a no obligation free chat and go through that together.